Waiting for my tears to pass, I dipped a finger in the glass and coaxed a low hypnotic hum around the rim. The message reflects the emotions of love and loss, which is an expression of grief, but in an abstract way. A message written in your hand was smudged and made no sense to me, till in between the lines, I read your melody. I found out about the AVBOB poetry competition when I opened the Sunday Times and I saw their ad. They were launching a poetry project with the themes of birth, death, love, and hope. And I had a hiatus of not writing any poetry at all for 30 years. And it was as if a window had opened and I could fly.
Every phase of my life has been enriched through poetry. I cannot imagine my life without poems on motherhood, poems on love, and then death.
What AVBOB has done has created a platform for South Africans to express themselves, to showcase their talent.
EmaXhoseni, amaXhosa axhathise ngoxolo oluxabileyo, akha ingxaki ezixolileyo. Ever since I started writing, I liked using clicks. I like that. It's musical, it's in me.
The poetry competition started as part of AVBOB centenary celebrations, which was in 2018. We have clients who are in need of words, and the thinking was, let's put these people who have the words and the people who are looking for the words together.
Poetry brings you language when you are in a turmoil of emotions. It's all the arrangements, etc., and you don't actually have time to engage with the death in a way that releases you into grief.
AVBOB caters for all. Hence, it makes sense that when they started this to reach out to people, they included all official languages.
If we select your poem, we pay for the rights. We publish it on the website, but also the top 3 poems are included in our yearly anthology. The winning poet gets a 2,500 rand voucher for one of the book suppliers. They get 10,000 rand in cash, and of course they get the trophy.
I've got approximately 80 poems on the AVBOB Poetry Project website. There are currently over 19,000 poems. So wherever you come from, whatever language you speak, there's something there for you.
We've received, I believe in year 1, somewhere around 19,000 entries, and in the highest year we received just on 40,000.
The whole idea also is to support and develop even our languages. So usually I give the poets constructive criticism, and we have seen the improvement with the years.
AmaXhosa axhathise eqhinele ekhantini. Amaxhego namaxhokokazi aqubuka. What I appreciate with AVBOB is that they give us the freedom to write in our own languages, because isiXhosa is my life. It's in my DNA.
When we are talking about digitalization of indigenous languages, AVBOB is 20 steps ahead. They have responded to the issue of decolonization, where right now there is accessibility of indigenous languages. One book comes with all 11 official languages. The importance of having all poems translated into English is for accessibility. So it's also promoting multilingualism. And you can even navigate through different cultures.
Through the African language poems, you realize that death is not some fearful passage. It's actually a door towards ancestors. You can relax because they will be there.
When you read these poems, you actually feel the heartbeat of the author, where the author's mind was.
I've got students who are also creative writers. It gives them a platform to write and be published.
If one of my poems could reach just one grieving person and bring them comfort and hope, that's what it's all about.
AVBOB has been involved in literacy, language education specifically, since 2012, when we started to donate container libraries to primary schools.
This school is surrounded by zinc houses. Then the people are not working here. There's too much poverty. Parents can't buying for their kids the books. There's no library in this area.
I love reading because it cools my mind down when I have stress or something.
I like to read novels, stories in English, Sesotho, and also I like to read in isiXhosa.
Our main focus is underserved communities, rural communities that are far away from libraries. We need to be reaching to schools that have less than 600 learners. And thus we started with the Road to Literacy campaign, where we are donating trolley libraries.
I like the trolley library because even in your spare time, like break, you can come and read the stories that you want to read.
The public is given the opportunity to be able to nominate a school or also educational NPOs that are in need of learning material and literacy books as well. And the dream of the Road to Literacy campaign is to ensure that the books are available a step away from the learner. In year one, AVBOB, in partnership with Oxford University Press, donated 180 trolley libraries. In year two, 260 with 500 books to the value of 50,000 per trolley library.
It's very helpful because it can move from one class to another when the teacher needs to use it.
It pays to use the facilities that we already have. We have this skill set in our own Bloemfontein factory where we manufacture coffins and wreaths and handles. And then we have this fleet of vehicles that have to go and deliver coffins to all our branches around the country. So we might as well take a library along.
When we got the trolley library, we were extremely happy. The parents were over the moon.
They will achieve what they want by being educated and for them to be better people in life.
The research has shown that most of the learners are not able to read for meaning. In the trolley libraries, we have books that are in the mother tongue of the learners so that they can easily learn how to read for meaning as well. And as they progress to higher grades, they are able to then move into other languages like English.
Once upon a time in the township of Mazulu, there was a nourishes.
Reading these books in this trolley, it helps me so much to know some of the words that I don't know. It corrects my English.
When teachers tell us about something and I don't know that word, I go to dictionary and read it. I like to research.
One of the things I like about this trolley library, it has different languages. So I get to know those languages.
The school's innovation project also started with our centenary. At the time, we wanted to do one large educational project, and our thinking was to build a new school. The Department of Education suggested that we rather look at refurbishing existing schools that actually had old asbestos classrooms. We went into a partnership, and AVBOB contributed 150 million rand towards a total project of 273 million to upgrade one school in every province.
We have 1,535 learners from grade R to grade 7. I myself attended school here. I became the principal in 2014. We were having 29 classes that was built with asbestos. It was a health risk.
The previous asbestos classes were like a refrigerator in winter, and in summer it was as hot as hell. But now that we have a new building, it gave us a new breath of life.
Equal access to education is enshrined in the Constitution of South Africa. We had a dream of building an infrastructure that is able to accommodate the learners, but that will be healthy with the modern technology as well.
We have 35 classrooms, a computer room, a science lab, a multi-purpose room. We are also having a kitchen, and our learners are fed every morning. Learners are performing better. Basically, everything improved ever since we moved into these buildings.
What I like about these new classes and schools is because the classes are bigger and they're beautiful inside. There's much space where we can move from one place to the next.
I do feel more excited because we get motivated to come to school because we can actually take pride in our school.
It's a legacy project, and in the next 20 or 30 years, who knows, 30,000, 40,000 children will have the opportunity to use those facilities. It's going to give a completely different learning experience to those kids.
The future of the country lies in the hands of each and every person. And as a corporate citizen, I've saw the importance of having to invest in the education space to ensure that we are able to contribute towards building a better future for all.
I have a lot of dreams. I would love to go to study music so I could go foreign.
I want to be really good in school, to become a lawyer and live the life I've always wanted to live. Lavish, full of luxury, not having to stress about anything, just, living life to the fullest.
I love sharks because they are magnificent. It's a beautiful beast and it's so complicated. Every day you learn something new.
Well, women hold up half the sky, but you wouldn't tell it by seeing who owns businesses, particularly in the automotive sector. So we need to focus on identifying the women that are in the sector, giving them the opportunities and supporting them.
I always had good teachers. They used to say, just because your parents didn't finish school, just because you see around you that there are kids that get to grade 12 and then that's it, it doesn't have to be that for you. I applied for NSFAS and they gave me a bursary to go to the University of the Free State. So I did my degree there. I started my career in insurance, surprisingly enough. But shortly a year after, I joined the automotive industry.
Initially, I started by importing bathroom accessories and distributing it to the market. The reason why we headed then into the manufacturing of those very same items that we were importing was because we just couldn't find anything at an affordable rate. Then we realized that the main need was for aluminium. And that was our first into the automotive and our flagship business.
KPL die casting is a high-pressure aluminium and zinc die caster. We take molten metal, force it into a mold, and make products. Right now, we serve about 6 different industries, 20 different clients, up to 60 different products every month. So it's quite a big range of work that we do at KPL.
I started with passenger vehicles, in the service department. And then I moved into used vehicles, shadowing the used car sales manager. Then I ran many successful dealerships over the years. And then I was phoned by a recruiting agency saying that they've got a position with trucks in Pietermaritzburg. And within a month of being there, I was told, listen, you need to open another dealership now in Pinetown. 2 years down the line, I realized that I would really like to build something and I would really like to impact people's lives. So my current partner, but then at the time he was a colleague, we registered the company and then we were on the lookout. There was a rumor that, listen, there is the dealership in George is going to be sold. And we were fortunate enough that we were the ones that were chosen at the end of, of those investor rounds. We were given 3 months to secure funding. So it was a bit difficult, actually.
In the automotive value chain, there are very few businesses that are owned by women. So as the BE Trust, this is a particular focus for us.
So I got Nonkovela's number from someone. And then she says to me, there is a VW Trust Fund. Just talk to this guy and let's see if it makes sense to him. And he got it. He got it.
It was very challenging to grow the business. I had to have my ear to the ground all the time. I got a call from Volkswagen telling me all about the Intinga project. We applied. We were one of the 10 companies that were chosen.
So the new machines came in 2019. So I joined KPL as the external accountant to do some reporting to the funders on a monthly basis. We worked for a long time talking about the numbers, the people, the potential. But I think one thing in the back of my mind was looking at the succession of KPL. I said, okay, this is aligned with my vision for my life and what I want to do in South Africa. Once Sally let go, she let go properly and said, this is your baby to take forward. But that was a key moment, I think, in defining how we work now.
So that's the real aim of broadening and increasing and diversifying the supply chain. You increase the skills, employment, and growth and sustainability locally.
You'll notice at KPL, it's a factory, but it's a love for people. That's great to see how the leadership has cultivated that culture.
We have staff that have bought houses. We have staff that have bought cars. We have staff whose children matriculated and are onto academic studies. We have staff, their mothers retired and the children came to work here. It's been the best part of my journey, the best part.
Those are the multiplier benefits of having a bigger and more diverse and more inclusive supply chain. So all our efforts are aimed at doing that.
RaceCorp is a prosperator. Our reason to exist is to ensure that we support entrepreneurs. We've been partners with VW South Africa for around 10 years now. I think what's really unique about this partnership is that from the beginning, VW has led the thinking in terms of how enterprise and supply development is done.
Urban Events is a communications company. I studied public relations and then I started working and I found that I couldn't really get all my creative juices really flowing. So I went into this wild, wild west, which is running a business and entrepreneurship. And I realized that I needed help with growth. So I signed up for the RaceCorp Development Program.
So what we do for entrepreneurs is we support them by providing them physical infrastructure with a set of what we call guides. They get a strategy guide, a finance guide, a marketing and sales guide, and a personal development guide. They meet with them every month and they're there to support them in a very programmatic way.
I always wanted to be an entrepreneur since a young age. I started small. I got myself a premises, but then hardcore lockdown. From nowhere, there was a line almost every day in my shop for water because people are all of a sudden health conscious. They want to live healthy, they want to drink water. And that is how I started my journey. I met this guy and he told me about RaceCorp. I was so excited. And if I look at how RaceCorp, they helped me, how they supported me, I mean, they became like family. And I'm so very thankful. And I saw the business is growing and I saw an opportunity in the market to open another shop. And that one started to grow. Eventually I got to a retail space in a shopping center. And I use it for the third branch.
I'm on the third year now of the program and they know my business. It's just nice to know that I can call on them to say, you know what, I need help, guide me on this, and they are just really always there for you. And then also, obviously, with VW being the sponsors for me on the program, that opened up more opportunities for us in terms of work. And we actually ended up creating a design for their wellness building and their 2 ambulances as well.
So the aim of the BEE Trust is inclusion and making sure that everybody has a stake in this country, in this company, in everything. So the Karega Township Economic Development Program, it's still very much in pilot phase. We're still learning because it's very context-driven. And this community, there are lots of challenges. We started out by doing research on the state of economic activity in the township. And then once we understood that, we then identified 3 sectors: the automotive sector, the recyclers, and then the beauty and personal care industry.
In 2019, we started collecting recycling. We only started with 2 bags, not taking it seriously as a business. But while we were busy in that process, SLF came through, looking for people who are doing small businesses. Then I decided, okay, I'm gonna attend this program. That's where the vision of having a recycling business and a buyback came alive.
So it's about finding the most talented entrepreneurs. It's about focusing on skills development through training, personal support, and then giving them resources and connections to economic opportunities, commercial opportunities to sustain their businesses.
So it was quite a challenging experience for me because I realized that I didn't know much. We did like business analysis, some sales and marketing. We've learned financial management, educating us to know that business money needs to be separated. How to comply with the SARS, how to register the businesses, how to keep your books.
And we now have decided to actually build on this further by working in a more focused project with the recyclers. We have identified, an opportunity to create a waste recycling and collection center in the township.
Show the community there's money in recycling. There's actually employment in recycling. So there's a lot of things that this program has brought into life for us.
We're very thoughtful and methodical about the work that we do. We don't have perfect outcomes all the time, but it's in the imperfection that we can get better. And we've learned and we've grown and we've partnered with really wonderful partners. And the scope continues to expand.
The best thing that I love about having my own business is just the creative side of things and having an impact in the lives of so many people.
South Africa has a big problem with jobs and unemployment. A job is not just an income, it's also pride and support for your family. And I think that's the goal that I'm trying to do in this business.
I'm very passionate about making sure that I employ young people. So the thoughts that I occupy myself with is how can I grow this business so that I can employ as many people as I can.
Today, 2 years along the line, going for my 3rd year, we have grown from 1 employee to 12 employees. For me as an owner, looking at my employees smiling, taking a salary home, that makes me feel I'm doing something here, I'm making a difference.